You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com, follow us on Twitter at Michigan_Truth, and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And welcome to the postgame edition for Saturday, June 9th, 2018. I'm Taylor Phillips. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Also listen to us on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Louis Tenore, my national sports reporter by my side, as always, as usual. So let's get down to it.
That one is long gone!
The Tigers beat the Cleveland Indians 4-2 in 12 innings on yet another Jeimer Candelario home run.
Oh, man! You blew it!
The Tigers scored 2 runs in regulation. Both bullpens pitched their hearts out. It was another starting pitching duel. And it was going to go either way. Even the goose was not enough to help the Tigers win in regulation. Now, let's face it here. Does that stupid rally goose mean that the Tigers are manufacturing runs? No. They're not. Absolutely not. This is just one of those positive delusions that this entire delusional city of Detroit tries to believe in, tries to save the city. They want to believe in delusions that want to save them from whatever. You know, what do they think is going on that's making the sky fall on them? I mean, really, come on. Is there any truth in that? No. Now, don't get me wrong. Jeimer Candelario has hit 4 home runs in his last over 10 or 12 games, which is not bad individually. In fact, it's pretty good. But if you think their offense entirely is so great to you, well, you're only hoping that it is. You're only shilling that and believing that it is. And that's that's just you sticking by your guns every single freaking game. Just a slappy who just doesn't care, who just stands by his or her team no matter what. Just makes me freaking puke. Get a real life, what you people. Same thing that goes with their stupid owner, Chris Ilitch. He believes in positive delusions. He believes in appearances of confidence. He always acts like he appears with confidence, but he's running out of money. He's facing a lot of tax issues, and he's failing to get out of them, out of that tax debt that he's deeply in, and soon enough he'll have no choice but to sell both the Tigers and the Red Wings. Sorry, but that's the way it is in reality. Chris Ilitch is at least contemplating selling the Tigers and Red Wings due to high concerns over tax issues. That's what Jeff Moss of the Detroit Sports Rag, back on March 8, 2017, got from two former Ilitch Holdings Incorporated employees. There goes my pen. As two sources. One of the sources told Moss that the Ilitch family is trying to get out of those estate tax issues, and another obstacle is their financial debt is tied to team revenue, creating another obstacle in selling the franchises. But it's all going to come to a head, and it's all going to come to an end. So, since then, nothing. Does that mean that he denied the sale? Absolutely not. There has not been a report about him denying that sale, that franchise sale. Because even he would admit that he's selling those teams. At least not right now. But he will soon, sometime in due time. In the future. Probably Tigers and Indians at 110. Probably going to have another pitcher's duel coming right up. Let me look at the 110 game. Corey Kluber, 9-2, 168 ERA against Artie Lewicki. Artie Lewicki, who got blown out his last start. Are you, man?
You are pathetic!
Artie Lewicki got railed by the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park earlier this week. He did. Either that, or he might have got railed by the. Now, let me see if I can dig that up. Yep, Lewicki. Yep, he started in Boston. That was Tuesday, in a 6-0 loss. Yeah, he's going to get rocked again tomorrow afternoon. Even with his own fans behind him, his own slappy fans behind him. And no, the Rally Goose is not going to help the offense tomorrow afternoon either. They still can't manufacture too many runs per game. The fans just want attention on TV, on Fox Sports Detroit. That crap pile of a television network, of a regional television network, All Fox Sports regional channels suck. Especially Fox Sports Detroit. They all have to be boycotted, especially FSD. Hashtag boycott Fox Sports Detroit. It's a frickin' mess. Sorry, guys, but even it's even pissing most of the fans off, most of the viewers off. They have to tune away. I don't see any fans holding up signs that what they love Mario and Rod or John Keating or Mickey York or Trevor Thompson or Johnny Kane. Not even at Comerica Park or Little Caesars Arena. So that's all I have to say for now. So that's all my truth for tonight.
It's now time for the National Sports Report with Louis Tenore.
Take it away.
All right, and away we go. We'll check out the baseball scores first. In the Battle of the Subway Series right now, the Yankees hold on to a 4-3 lead over the Mets. There's 2 on and 2 out runners on first and second. Chapman is pitching, and Plawecki is at bat, so we'll keep our eyes on that one. Top 8, the Astros lead the Rangers 4-3. Davinsky is pitching, and Bazara is at bat. No one on, no one out. Top 8. We got a good one here. D-backs and Rockies tie at 7 with a runner on third and 1 out. Shaw, pitching, and Goldschmidt is at bat. Now that's a doozy. Bottom 3, Braves lead the Dodgers right now 3-1. 1 out, nobody on. Sanchez is pitching, and Wood is at bat. Finals in. Nationals over the Giants 7-5. Miller got the win, Rodriguez got the loss, and Doolittle got the save. Brewers an easy time over the Phillies today, 12-3. Suter got the win, and Arrieta got the loss. Final 10 innings in the Battle of the Birds. The Blue Jays over the Orioles, 4-3. Axford got the win, and Givens got the loss. Angels edged the Twins 2-1. Skaggs got the win, Gibson got the loss, and Parker got the save. Cubs edged the Pirates 2-0. Lester got the win. Kingham got the loss. And Krejcik got the save. Red Sox over the White Sox 4-2. Price got the win. Rodden got the loss. And Kimbrell got the save. Royals over the A's 2-0. Duffy got the win. Bassett got the loss. And Hernia got the save. Tigers over the Indians in 12 innings. Susswald got the win and Allen got the loss. The Cardinals over the Reds 6-4. Waka got the win. Castillo got the loss and Hicks got the save. Padres edged the Marlins 5-4. Statman got the win. Ernst got the loss and Yates got the save. And finally, Rays over the Mariners, 7-3. Sneal got the win. Hernandez got the loss, and Rowe got the save. All right, so now let's check with that. So now, let's check on to the standings here, and they go like this. Up, and the Yankees have just ended the game. It's the Yankees 4, Mets 3. Game just ended. Okay, so with that, I don't think they've updated the strategy completely, so it goes like this right now. The Yankees and Red Sox are a virtual tie right now. Yankees are 41-18, Red Sox are 44-21, but the Yankees lead in percentage points 695 to 677. The rest are all in a garbage dump, as the Rays are 29-34, 14 back. Blue Jays 14.5 back at 29-35, and the Orioles 19-44, 24 back. It's no contest, really, folks. In the AL Central, Indians are 33-29, have a 4-game lead over the Tigers at 31-35. Twins 5.5 back at 27-34. The White Sox 12 back at 21-41, and the Royals are 22-43, 12.5 back. In the West, the Mariners are 40-24, have a half-game lead over the Astros at 40-25. Angels are 3.5 back at 37-28. A's are 33-32, 7.5 back, and the Rangers are bringing up the rear at 27-39, 14 back. In the National League, the Nationals are 36-26, have a half-game lead over the Braves at 36-27. The Phillies hanging around at 32-30, 4 back. They're starting to slip a bit. The Mets will now be 27-34, and they'll be 9 back now when this gets updated. And the Marlins are 23-41, 14 back. Oh boy. In the Central, the Brewers are 39-25, have a half-game lead over the Cubs at 37-24. Cardinals 3 back at 35-27. Pirates are slipping at 31-33, 8 back, and the Reds 22-43 at 17.5 back. The West, D-backs 33-29, a game and a half lead over both the Dodgers and the Rockies at 32-31. They've made ground nicely. Giants not that far behind either, 32-32, 2 back, and the Padres lackluster showing at 30-36, 5 back, but not insurmountable, even at this stage in the season. All right, so now let's check your Sunday schedule. And it reads like this for your Sunday, June 10th. All right, and it goes down like this. Leading off, your 105 game, the White Sox take on the Red Sox. 107, the Orioles take on the Blue Jays. Your 110 games are the Indians taking on the Tigers, the Cardinals taking on the Reds, the Padres taking on the Marlins, and the Mariners taking on the Rays. 135, Brewers take on the Phillies. 210, the Angels will take on the Twins. 220, Pirates take on the Cubs. 305, the Astros will take on the Rangers. 310, the Diamondbacks will take on the Rockies. 405 games. 405 games are the Royals taking on the A's and the Giants taking on the Nationals. We got some 410 game. The Braves taking on the Dodgers, and at 8 o'clock, one more time, the Yankees will take on the Mets. All right, that takes care of that. So now we'll go on to other notes here. There was one women's game that was played today. Excuse me, and it was just one game for a start. That's rather odd, to be honest. And it was the Connecticut Sun over the Minnesota Lynx, 89-75. One game Saturday is very unusual. But there is more action tomorrow, and it reads down like this. The Indiana Fever will take on the New York Liberty at 3, and they can use the work. The Chicago Sky take on the LA Sparks at 5. The Las Vegas Aces will take on the Phoenix Mercury at 6. I wonder what Diana Taurasi is going to do in this game. Can't wait to find out. And at 7, the Atlanta Dream takes on the Seattle Storm. That's for, of course, personal interests. All right, of course, what's Saturday without soccer? Not much. So we have a lot of soccer games in the MLS today. And keep in mind, folks, that the World Cup begins on Thursday. Actually, I'm looking forward to it. So we'll run down the MLS scores. And just a moment here. All right. And they read down like this. Leading off, New York FC played Atlanta to a 1-1 draw. Columbus and the Red Bulls also played to a 1-1 draw. Vancouver Whitecaps over Orlando 5-2. Dallas holds off Montreal 2-0. Late games are the LA Galaxy at Salt Lake. All these games are 10:30. Portland will take on Kansas City, and San Jose will take on the Los Angeles Football Club. As I said, all those games are at 10:30. Actually, right now, if this will allow me to do, I would like to check the standings if they're actually going to be able to, if they're going to come up. If not, then I'll just go to some news items. Yeah, I'll go to the news items right now. Why hold that up? And of course, we also have the Belmont Stakes, and this is interesting. As Justify had a wire-to-wire victory at Belmont as it completed the Triple Crown today. That was on NBC. The late bloomer won the 150th Belmont Stakes by 1 3/4 lengths today, giving the sport its 13th Triple Crown winner. American Pharoah ended the 37-year drought in 2015, and now just a few years later, racing is celebrating another sweep of the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont. And I actually helped call that while I was on the air. Justify won the Belmont starting from the rail. The last Triple Crown winner to do that from that spot at the Belmont was not American Pharoah, but Secretariat back in 1973. Justify went off as the 4-5 odds favorite as the second to capture Triple Crown, undefeated, joining Seattle Slew back in 1977. Justify was 6-0. He is the first horse to sweep the series without racing the previous year, and be the other nine horses to win. More competition than any other Triple Crown winner has beaten in the Belmont. Justify defeated 35 horses across the Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and now the Belmont. Wow. Bob Baffert's Justify's trainer, Sonny Jim Fitzsimmons, as the only trainers to win the Triple Crown race twice. Fitzsimmons won way back in 1930 with Gallant Fox, and 1935 with Omaha Barfet. Won in 2015 with American Pharoah. It was Barfet's fifth attempt at the Triple Crown, 3 more than any other trainer. It never gets old, as he said. American Pharoah will always be my first love. Aww. Well, congratulations. I mean, it was a well done race, and I was happy to cover it.
Oh yeah, on your show, right?
Yeah, because the race was on while I was doing the show. How do you like that?
Yeah, no, we expected Justify to win because the odds were on his side. Simple.
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe it was just too soon that was going to happen, but obviously I was wrong. Now, to add to this, Justify became the most valuable horse in racing history thanks to this win. Before the Belmont Stakes, the horse's owners, primary Windstar Farm, China Horse Club, and SF Racing, negotiated a deal with Coolmore to sell the horse's breeding rights for $60 million. The Triple Crown was worth an additional $15 million. Sources said, making the total deal of $75 million. Windstar's Elliot Walden declined to discuss the deal after Justify's win. The undefeated horse value tops the $70 million that Kumar paid in the 2004 Pegasus, who won 5 of his 7 starts. That figure, through an inflation-adjusted price, is actually $104 million. Wow. What makes the accomplishment more remarkable is that horse became so valuable in 111 days, from his first race, February 18th, to today, when he became the 13th winner of the Triple Crown. Justify was purchased at a yearling for $500,000. While the deal may seem rich, sources say Coolmore will make it up by breeding in the northern and southern hemisphere, making the horse capable of breeding at least 250 times in the first year, at an average of $150,000 per live bull. Half the deal will be covered in year one. Wow. Coming so close to American Pharoah's Triple Crown has its advantages. That horse's first crop hasn't even reached yet. A flop of the track might make Coolmore, whose U.S. business, Ashford Stud, also has American Pharoah's breeding rights, more cool on a Triple Crown winner's stock. Wow. All that for a horse. Also, welterweight champion Trevor Horn made his weight on his second attempt and is fighting against Terrence Crawford for the welterweight crown in Las Vegas as we speak. Or I don't even know if he even got into the ring yet. Maybe some undercards have taken place first. But all indications are pointing that they're just about ready to fight. And that fight is, of course, in Vegas. And probably right now it's probably an inferno in Vegas, as it does get brutally hot this time of year. I should know. I've been there. Okay, so now we'll get down to the other news items of the day. Yankee pitcher Marishino Tanaka goes on the 10-day DL list with mild strains in both hamstrings. Tanaka was injured as he ran the bases in last night's win over the Mets. The Yankees have not placed the timeline on his return. He is 7-2 on the year with an ERA of 4.58 in 13 starts. That's kind of like borderline bad. 4.5 is, it's not great, but then again, it's not exactly terrible either. Looking some work. Okay, women's final at the French Open has concluded as Simone Halep won in 3 sets over American Sloane Stephens. She lost the first set 6-3, but then took the last 2 sets 6-4, 6-1, and this was her first Grand Slam title she has won and retains her ranking as the #1 women's tennis player, period. Alright, LeBron played the last 3 games of the finals with a self-inflicted right hand injury that he suffered in Game 1. Sources told ESPN that James punched a whiteboard in the locker room, what an idiot, after an overtime loss in Game 1. James was frustrated by the overturned offensive foul with less than a minute to go in the fourth quarter, and was changed to a blocking foul called against him, following a replay review by the official, and not J.R. Smith's lack of recognition in the final seconds. Sources say that James had 2 MRIs in the series and wore a soft cast and iced his hands to reduce the swelling. He wore the cast in last night's post-game news conference. Egomaniac.
Other than that, it was not his fault. His teammates let him down.
True, but he can't do all the work either.
Right.
And he thinks he's also the coach too, as well as
that's
the
the
player.
same point.
Yeah. That's what I meant by he's an egomaniac.
Well, it's because he complains about the officiating all the time and then throws fits.
Yeah,
That's what you meant by egomaniac.
Right. I mean, because that's what he does. He thinks he owns this whole team. Next thing, he'll try to own the league. Oh boy, jerk. All right, now on the subject of LeBron, the big question is, since this offseason has now begun, where will he end up next season? He said, at this point, I have no idea. He doesn't have much time to decide this, however. He must let the Cavaliers know by June 29th on if he intends to opt out of his contract. Should he opt out and become an unrestricted free agent? The Cavs can outbid any other suitor by offering him a 5-year supermax deal worth $209 million. Other teams can start pitching for James on July 1st, but the Cavaliers don't have to wait since he's already on the team. My guess is, I think he's going to stay. I mean, you can say all you want, but I think he's going to stay and finish out with Cleveland. A lot of people say he's got 5 years of them. I say he's going about 3. Just my guess, though. Warriors forward Kevin Durant wins the Finals MVP for the second straight year after a sweep of the Cavaliers. This was the team's third title in 4 years. Durant averaged 28.7 points per game, 10.7 rebounds, and 7.5 assists throughout the series. He becomes the 11th player to win the award at least twice. Michael Jordan holds the record with 6. Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, and LeBron on 3, while Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Willis Reed, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar have won it twice. It's a pretty extensive list. All right. Okay, just see if I missed anything before that.
This is the post-game edition.
Just in case, if I didn't bring this up last night, I'll mention it one more time. Yankees fielder Chapman had an issue with his left knee as it flared up in the 9th inning in last night's game versus the Mets, prompting trainers to come out and check on him. Since he was able to pitch through it, it was likely he will not go on the disabled list. Well, that's a relief. So now we'll check the baseball scores, what's ever left. As I just mentioned, the Yankees have beaten the Mets 4-3, thank goodness. But that's bad news for the Mets. They've now lost 8 in a row. Robertson got the win. Swarzak got the loss, and Chapman got the save. Although Chapman kind of worries me a little bit. Astros lead the Rangers now 4-3, top of the 9th. Runner on first and nobody out. Dykeman is pitching, and Stassi is at bat. Bottom of the 8th. The floodgates have opened up now with the Diamondbacks versus the Rockies. The Diamondbacks now lead 12-7. 2 out, nobody on. Bradley is pitching and Pomeroy at bat. My, how quickly things change. Braves now lead the Dodgers 3-1. Wood is pitching in. Abeliz is at bat. When we last checked, it was 7-7, and now it's 12-7. That's amazing?
It's happened like that before.
Yeah, but in just 5 minutes.
That quickly, huh?
I mean,
5 runs in 5 minutes in extra innings.
Well, no, it's still in regulation, but
regulation.
When we were doing the scores first, it was 7-7, and then it just ballooned up.
Somebody might have hit a grand slam, maybe.
Yeah, that might have been. That's still shocking. Okay, I do happen to have the MOS standings, and I'll read it down like this. In the Eastern Conference, Atlanta is 9-3-3. New York City, the football club, is 8-3-4. Columbus is 7-3-6. My Red Bulls 7-4-2. Oh boy. New England is 6-4-4. Orlando is 6-2. Philadelphia is 5-7-3. Chicago is 5-7-2. That's bad. Toronto is 4-7-2. Montreal is a very disappointing 4-10-0. And DC is 2-5-3. DC is one of the original members. In the West, Kansas City is 8-2-4. Dallas is 7-1-5. Salt Lake is 7-6-1. Los Angeles Football Club is 6-4-3. Portland is 6-3-3. Vancouver 5-5-6. Houston is 5-5-3. LA Galaxy 5-7-2. Minnesota 5-8-1. San Jose 2-8-3. That's bad. Seattle 2-7-2, and Colorado 2-8-2. And those are your standings for that. And that concludes my notes for this evening, so I'll turn back over to you.
All right, that's going to do it for Postgame Edition for Saturday, June 9th, 2018. Before we sign off, I want to remind everyone to share this episode and our entire podcast on social media and have their friends share that as well, because we want to tell them that the Michigan Sports Truth podcast is in search of a wider audience online that is fans of sports, especially our teams in the state of Michigan. So please spread the word about the Michigan Sports Truth podcast on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Its Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth, and its Twitter handle at Michigan_Truth. For Louis Tenore, I'm Taylor Phillips. We'll talk to you sometime at around 4 or 5, unless I have to work a double at Ruby Tuesday in Cadillac. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Good night.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
Transmission complete.